everyone. Today we're gonna cook a meal that benefits someone with high blood pressure, also known as hypertension. Hypertension could be caused by many ways, different factors such as excess salt intake. So let's first discuss what is hypertension, or how does salt cause hypertension. So hypertension is when our blood vessels stiffen or narrow. And when we eat a lot of salt, we need more water in order to help our body regulate. We need to eat salt, but too much salt means we need to drink more water. Quick reminder that we always need to drink more water, and it's really important. Even if you don't have hypertension, it's always important to drink more water, especially when it's getting hot outside. So when we drink more water due to having too much salt, it creates more pressure on our blood vessels, which cause them to thicken, and it puts more pressure on the blood vessels, which causes hypertension. So in a way, excess salt causes hypertension. So let's limit our sodium intake, because the government recommends 2,030 milligrams of salt per day per person, and literally everyone just intakes more salt than what is recommended. So before we start cooking, we need to recognize how much salt is in our diet. Like people who eat processed meat, like deli meat, there is a lot of sodium in there. Pizza, frozen pizza, it's really easy. Just take it out of the fridge, put it in your microwave. It's super easy and convenient, but pizza has too much salt in it. So pickles, oh my god, pickles. People put a lot of salt in pickles because they will decay if there's not enough salt. Canned soup. If you're buying canned food, just look at the labels and check to see if there is a lot of salt in them, because the nutrition labels on the back of the can, they're there for a reason. And foods that we should be consuming instead of all these food with excess sodium, we need to consume fruits and vegetables, whole grains. That's why in our meal, we're gonna be making celery and carrot with eggs, and I'll explain the pros of this meal with brown rice, because brown rice has a lot of grain, and it's good for someone with hypertension, and there's minimum sodium in this meal. Okay, before we start cooking, I need to review some safety tips with you guys. So first of all, you see I have my hair down. That is wrong. We need to tie our hair up. So first, I'm going to tie my hair up, and then after tying my hair up, I'm going to wash my hands with soap. After you wash your hands, make sure to dry with a paper towel. Always wear clean clothing, and always prepare a clean apron, and make sure your clothing isn't loose. So I'm wearing a t-shirt, but some people who have dangly stuff, and also if you have jewelry, and if you're able to take off your jewelry, take it off, because you don't want it to get inside your food. So I'm going to take off mine. And prior to cooking, always double check if you're wearing shoelaces. I know I'm wearing slippers, so I don't have to check if I'm going to tie my shoelaces. But for those of you who are going to prepare food with your shoes on, make sure your shoelaces are tied, and make sure there's nothing on the ground to block your way of walking. For example, a puddle of spill. And always remember, if you by accident spill something, make sure to clean it up ASAP like that. Just make sure, because there might be someone else walking in the kitchen and they might slip and fall. Make sure all the countertops are clean as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the equipment. Preparing the chef's knife, a bowl to put the food in. I'm preparing chopstick, because in an Asian household, we don't use whisk and stuff. We're gonna use this to beat the egg. And another tiny little bowl to put the egg inside. And then I prepared the infamous rice cooker. We all own this in our Asian household. And also a pan. I'm also going to prepare my pan, so the celery and the carrots are going in this. We also need a peeler to peel the carrots. My baby kettle, because before we cook the rice, we have to boil the water and then put it in the rice. That's how I make my meal. And also the cutting board. We're going to use the cutting board to cut up the celery and the carrots. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here's the ingredients you'll need. So always remember to wash all of your fruits and vegetables. Make sure that they're fresh. So look at the celery. The celery looks kind of fresh, right? And always make sure to wash it, because there's always going to be bacteria and you can't see them. And after you finish washing the celery, make sure to put it aside and also wash your hands afterwards. Always wash your hands before, during, and after food preparation. So I'm going to wash the carrot, and after I wash it, I have my peeler, and I'm going to just peel off When you're peeling, make sure to not peel on your hands. Don't hurt your hands. Make sure to peel. And then afterwards, I'm gonna wash the carrot after I peel it. So, this is an egg. The reason I'm adding an egg in my celery and carrot dish is because eggs contain potassium and calcium, which lowers blood pressure, and it's a good source of nutrients as well. So we're gonna add this egg. Before we start cooking or chopping the actual vegetables, I'm gonna get started with the brown rice. So the reason I'm using brown rice because brown rice contains good balance of minerals like magnesium, potassium, iron, which helps regulate blood pressure levels. And brown rice is really good for someone with hypertension. So before cooking the rice, we should always wash it and then pour the excess water out. So now I put the rice in the rice cooker. So I put it to cook. So now it will start cooking, and then afterwards I will take it out. Excess salt can lead to osteoporosis and kidney failure, and high blood pressure can cause heart disease and strokes. So when we're cutting the celery or when we're cutting anything in general, when we're cutting, we always have to make sure that our hands aren't like this so that we will cut our hands. So always remember to keep your fingers inwards like this and then hold it like this so that we will not cut our fingers like that. So it's always important to watch out. And after we use the chef's knife, we should always use it, wash it, don't leave it in hot water. We should not just leave it there hanging because it's really dangerous. And after we wash it immediately and put it away immediately afterwards. Aside from changing your diet, other lifestyle factors such as more exercise and sleep and limiting caffeine and alcohol. And something else to know is that we should never use a dull knife. It's very, very unsafe because dull knives, you could cut your fingers easily. So always buy or prepare a knife sharpener just in case your knife gets dull. Always make sure that it is a sharp knife so it cuts down really easily. So celery is actually really good at regulating blood pressure. I added a pinch of salt in this and then I'm going to mix it. The reason I added a pinch of salt is to add a little bit of flavor, but at the same time I don't want to add too much salt. The same thing with the eggs. I added a pinch of salt to add flavor, but I didn't add too much because I don't want excess salt. The eggs are done, and then we're gonna mix that with the celery and carrots later. Common population is elderly individual and also children and young adults, so I want to make it really colorful and pretty with vibrant colors. As an Asian household, we barely use the spatula, but mostly we use like chopsticks for everything, whether it's beating the eggs or mixing up the vegetables. As you can see, as it's getting warmer, the colors are more vibrant and it's mixing well really together, so it's really colorful and pretty to look at. I'm sure kids will love to eat this. And again, friendly reminder that the pan handle should always be inward so that we don't accidentally spill anything on the ground or fall and cause an accident. So now I'm going to add the eggs and I'm going to mix the two together so it looks pretty. After mixing up this, it looks really pretty. Tell me this doesn't look pretty. Tell me. And then we're going to pour this into the plate. So the dish is now finished. So after the rice finishes cooking, it'll go from cooked to warm. So when we're lifting up we should lift it up this way so that the steam doesn't come into our faces. And voila, I'm finished with my brown rice. I got my brown rice ready and my fruits and vegetables with my eggs, and I'm ready to dig in with my chopsticks. Would you try this meal? Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you learned something, and I hope you want to try out this dish. I hope to see you again in Cooking with Christina. Bye!